My favorite position's the tight end.
Hey, welcome to Logjam. Week 9 in the books. A lot of great things happen for a number of teams, not so great for other teams. But tonight we got a great episode for you. We got the Fury owner, Chris Benner's in the house with us tonight, so we're going to ask him some questions and see how his season's coming along.
We're going to get to exciting matchups, of course, a little bit later in the show. But for right now, we're going to talk about the state of the game. What do you see in the standings right now? Pimps moved to 8-1. Titans 7-2, second place. The young and confused make a big move to get to third.
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking at their squad all year, even from the draft, talking about that. But, the 1 and 2 teams played each other. But the real significant conversation here is about the logjam, what we talk about, which is that middle conversation of that 4 through 6 or 3 through 6 or 3 through 7. It really got thicker, if anything, this week.
Now there's a little separation. I mean, you see the Avengers stay back at 3 and 6. Hammers move up to 3 and 6, one game out. Sin by themselves in that 6 spot at 4 and 5, and then Fury and Daddy with a little trading places right there. And again, I think Young moving up to third is big for them. Fury moving up to 12-90 and having the most points, that could matter, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, some teams separated themselves, like you said, and a lot of teams have their fate in their hands. Like Corey, for example, like you said, as long as he can kind of win out, he's going to claim that spot. But a really tight race there. We're looking forward to week 10 and beyond. I don't know. Let's
check out the matchups.
Let's get into the weekly matchups.
Didn't make game of the week, but one of the biggest matchups in the logjam is going to be Who's Your Daddy taking care of the Cardinal Sin, 171 to 152. Fourth place, sixth place, big game for Daddy.
Big game for Daddy. First of all, I'd like to talk about the fact that he had buys with Saquon Barkley and David Johnson. So two of his not keepers, but one first-round pick overall and one keeper. You expect a lot out of those running backs. He had them both on bye. Still puts up 171.
Yeah, it's a big game. I mean, Goff goes off. The Saints-Rams game was just a bonus. That blew the game wide open. Michael Thomas with 45 in the phone call.
Yeah.
You got Cooper Kupp catching a couple. I mean, just a big day. And then James White, as predicted.
As predicted, James White without Sony Michel has been just a great piece there. I think Sony Michel might be coming back. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But so far, gold.
Sin, you got Christian McCaffrey has a big day, and then a lot of question marks. He did have the buys with AJ Green and
AJ Green. What's gonna shake out there? I guess we're all still waiting to find out how the foot is. What's gonna shake out with his top receiver? Dez Bryant finally signs. Dez Bryant has a home, possibly. There's speculation. Sorry, this is. But according to what I'm reading from,
Hey man, that could be a big thing for Sin. We made fun of him all year.
Yeah.
He could be a week 12, week 13, week 14 star.
We've made fun of a lot of people on this show that have come back to rub it in our face.
Yeah, but it didn't really matter for you at 8-1 with the Avengers sitting there in 7th place at 3 and 6. I mean, I don't know. I guess it just goes to show who knows what's going on in fantasy football. But it's been a fantastic year.
Oh well, good for the Sin. They hold on to that playoff position. They control their fate. Next week they take on the Hammers, who are sitting right outside the playoff, kind of looking in. So that should be a huge game in week 10.
And Daddy has a big matchup with the Pimps, of course. You can't be looking forward to that.
I don't want to say anything on camera. I'm so not looking forward to this matchup. Daddy, I respect you and your organization. I got to go on the road here and play Daddy in his home facility. So we're not looking forward to it, but we're going to do our best.
Well, let's just say there's some big Hammer fans in Avengerville, which you don't hear a lot either.
That's probably true. Well, the Hebrew Hammers took on Merci Beaucoup and took that 131 to 94?
84.
84. I was trying to give you a little bit more there, but Ari continues to find himself outside the playoffs, trying to find his way in. I know there's going to be the trade deadline looming. We know Ari's going to be active. It wouldn't surprise me if he tries to make some moves to get that last-minute grasp. Steve, on the other hand, season's headed a little bit in a different direction, and maybe he's ready to trade for the future and kind of get better.
Could be a big week in the trade deadline. I think the big story of the game is what happened to the Cook curse. I mean, I know Jared Cook only scores 4.
Yeah, we lifted the curse, but then Jared Cook only puts up. Maybe it was a Brandon Cooks curse because we haven't seen much from him until this week. Hello, Brandon Cooks. Hello, 26 points. I guess anybody who's a part of that Rams offense could go off at any moment, but
Do you
The Hammers this week, it was Brandon Cooks.
Do you think lifting the curse also was able to get Aaron Rodgers to take his knee brace off?
Yeah, no more one-legged quarterback. Like the veil of horribleness has been lifted off of Ari's team. We'll see if at this point in the season it's enough to salvage anything, really.
I mean, Alvin Kamara coming back. I don't know, 3-6, only a game out of that sixth place position, trailing in points. It's not over for the Hammers.
No.
I wonder if he will end up being a buyer or a seller at the trade deadline.
That's a real interesting question. I mean, really, that's an interesting question because he's at that point in the season where his roster is good enough to make a run, but possibly it's sell time. You're right. I think that's going to be real interesting to see where he goes.
I think you find the Avengers in the same spot. How much faith do you have coming up with the Pimps and the Titans on your schedule still, needing to win at least one more game in the Sin, maintain that points lead? I mean, do you buy? Do you sell?
You know what? Here's an idea. Instead of like playoff teams selling to playoff teams at the trade deadline, maybe it's smarter for teams like the Avengers and the Hammers. And I'm saying this as a team, this is completely, I'm trying to be unbiased, but maybe it's smarter for the Hammers to trade with the Avengers. Two teams on the outside, one getting better, one getting worse, instead of talent. You understand?
Hey, there's a lot of ways to go. People have a lot of strategies with it. Some people freewheeling. Ari has tended to be a freewheeling guy. I would expect to see, I would be astonished if there isn't a Hammers trade in the next week.
I would as well. But next week, Ari gets to take on the Sin. So this is a statement week for you Hammers. This is bounce me out, or there's still a chance.
I think you find Merci in an interesting position. Probably too late to make a playoff run, but you're getting Dalvin Cook back.
Absolutely.
I don't know what's happening with Ingram. I don't know if Flacco will be your starter, but I mean, Wentz, good spot. OBJ, both on buys this week. You couldn't have expected much. The thing for me about the Merci beaucoup is I think they have 7 weeks below 130 points, but yet last week they put up 154 to beat me.
Everybody shows up for the Avengers. That's a known fact.
In one of this week's other uncompetitive matches, Young and Confused slaps around the Zorros 136 to 93. Both teams headed in obviously different directions.
Yeah, different directions. Young and Confused head to the playoffs. Zorros at this point have already established that they're moving to the 2019 draft, which they've done an amazing job at. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a slam. Not ringing the bell. He's done a great job at getting picks and looking to move forward.
It's interesting to call Young. I don't think necessarily they've clinched playoffs, so maybe this is a Young curse that we've made the playoffs. I don't know if it is or not, but with 6 wins, they're in a great spot. Their 3 leadoff hitters, Watson, Hunt, Tevin Coleman, all put up big numbers.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill didn't get off this week, too much for him, but another weapon he has. Plenty of weapons for Young and Confused. And again, the Zorros here just can't almost put up a fight. They're kind of a wounded animal.
Yeah, they're in complete sell mode. A third of their points this week came from a player that is no longer on the Zorros roster.
Exactly.
Clearly, they're trying to put themselves in position for next year. A lot of meager single-digit numbers. Could be some fines coming up. Could be a toilet bowl appearance. Hard to say. He's going to make some moves. He's always on the waiver wire. He'll be looking for players to get in there. Back with Young and Confused, we did talk a little bit about a bunch of buys, 6 bye weeks, 2.3 points on the bench. I mean, none of those players on the bench let you know there's a ton of depth, but with that kind of spacing between you and the playoff mark, you're in pretty good position.
Yeah, well, when you're going into the playoffs and you're looking at your bench, I know there's guys on bye weeks, I get that. But you still kind of look at the bench and you say, hey, how do I build my team a little bit stronger? God forbid anything were to happen to Deshaun Watson at this point. This is not a curse, but, Josh Rosen is not the guy you want to roll into the playoffs with as a backup. So there's things that maybe even Young and Confused, like the Ham. I'm just really interested in this trade deadline. I think there's going to be a lot of activity next Monday.
I mean, you would put money on both of these teams making a move.
Sure.
I just don't know what on the Zorros roster is movable.
Maybe
but
Leonard
I think
Fournette.
maybe, yeah. But
Maybe Leonard Fournette.
it could be a building block, could be someone that trades. I think Young will be looking to make a move for sure. I would be astonished again if Young and Confused didn't make a move before the trade deadline's over.
Well, congratulations, Young and Confused. Young and Confused continue to move up the board, and you get the Fury next week. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. It should be, a high-powered offense matchup. Hopefully, both of you guys, get off. It's the first time we've said that to each other, isn't it?
So I'd like to talk to you about my game this week against the Avalon Avengers. a must-win game after losing 2 weeks ago to Avalon and getting beat by the Pimps in a very close match. I was very worried about this week. I had some players on bye. The Bengals were on bye. The Cardinals were on bye with the two teams. I have several Bengal players. Put in my scrubs, wish for the best. Everything was going fairly well. The projection was in my favor the whole day. Tom, who played Drew Brees, and an amazing game between the Saints and the Rams that I hope everybody watched, including myself. But I gotta tell you, man, the Saints had won the game. I had walked away. I had decided to go to the store. So I get into the car and I put the game on AM 620. And sure as shit, they're like, and Drew Brees throws another touchdown. And that's when I start punching the roof of my FJ. Because I know that's the one. That's like the 5th fucking touchdown. So that's going to put him over Mahomes' points into the 40-point range, where it's going to be hard for me now to manufacture points. I have like 3 players left, not much going on. He has Ezekiel Elliott versus Dion Lewis. Seems like easy win for Tom. It comes down to my defense. I have Dallas's defense in, who, while looking at the different defenses available, I noticed that was ranked number 1 by the so-called experts on ESPN. So I picked them up to use against Tom because I didn't trust Tennessee's defense at the time. But 3 minutes before kickoff, I decided to go ahead and put Tennessee's defense back on with Dion Lewis and go all Titans. The way the game started, interception, fumble, Dallas's defense is up to 35 points. I'm punching myself in the face. You'd have to watch the rest of the game to know what happened, but in the end, it is true that I was standing as the victor in what was a great win and a much needed win for the Fury franchise to move forward towards the playoffs. Tom, excellent game and very much love.
And that gets us to the game of the week. What else could it be but the first place Pimps, the second place Titans, tied coming into the week, but the Pimps take care of it 161 to 150. Neither team gets high points this week, but a fantastic battle.
A fantastic battle, clash of the Titans, so to speak. Neither one got high points, which both are accustomed to so far this year, but what a great battle. Again, salute to you, Hillcrest Titans.
Instead of getting in-depth into the matchup this week, we're going to try something new, and we're going to take you out to the corner of Playa Boulevard and Slim Avenue to the house that Hennessy built. And we're going to show you a highlight package of this week's Game of the Week.
On 2nd and 3, the fake to Barber. Fitzpatrick to O.J. Howard for a Buccaneers score. And now the intentional grounding. 3rd and goal. Newton to the end zone. What a catch by Greg Olsen. Spectacular for a Panthers touchdown.
Look for the big guys. Look for O.J. Howard. Look for Mike Evans.
Fitzpatrick throws at O.J. Howard. His 2nd touchdown today. 78 receiving yards. He split out to the right. Newton on 2nd and 15 to the end zone for Samuel. 2nd and goal from the Carolina 5. Fitzpatrick fires. Humphreys, touchdown. Fitzpatrick on 2nd and 10. Humphreys on the slant. Adam Humphreys inside the 10. Still going. Humphreys is finally brought down at the 1-yard line.
That ball crossed the goal line here, Kenny. Keep an eye on his knee, and I think that's a touchdown.
The ruling on the field will be changed. Touchdown.
A hand to Gurley. He gets to the edge. Todd Gurley dives. Touchdown. Number 16 for number 30.
Steelers try to take the lead. Roethlisberger hooks a pass underneath. Caught by Connor. He's got the angle. Connor bangs his way in for the touchdown.
Straight
Jordan Howard, touchdown for the Chicago Bears. Jordan Howard has daylight. Jordan Howard bouncing inside into the end zone for a Bears touchdown.
Steelers trying to add to their lead. Quick hitter to the outside. Antonio Brown slips 2 tacklers and takes it in for the touchdown.
Into the end zone. That is a touchdown for Adam Thielen.
Rodgers rolling and looking and firing, and it is Davante Adams with the touchdown. Of Peterman was that it was mentally tough, and he has to be given the situation. Juggled and eventually caught by Jason Kroom. The ball comes out, and the Bears have it. It's a fumble and a takeaway. Eddie Jackson going the other way for a Chicago touchdown. Defensive player blitzes on, and Peterman's throw, and that's another takeaway for the Bears. Leonard Floyd with a touchdown for Chicago.
Better snap. The kick is good.
A lot of folks didn't want no smoke from your boy.
And boy, did the Pimps take care of the Titans. Hope you enjoyed the new format, going through the game, something we're going to try around here. But Pimps moving to 8-1, Titans fall to 7-2.
Yeah, again, salute to Billy for a great performance. I guess the question beckons: does an ass pounding like he took this week merit a tweet like this? Yeah, it's kind of awkward, but tweets are often cryptic. You never know what people are really talking about on the Twitter.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that wraps up matchups for the week. We're going to move into Yule Log. We're really happy to have a special guest. You saw him a little bit earlier doing the Avengers Fury matchup to some kind of new age music or whatever is happening there. But we're really happy to welcome into the Yule Log Chris Benner. Welcome to a segment we like to call the Yule Log. We're happy enough to have our guest, Fury's owner. I think he's been in the league 10 of the 11 years. Chris Benner, welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's good to finally have the Fury on the show. First of all, he's been having an incredible season. Definitely expectations above the bar. What do you think so far as your season and how you feel about it?
I feel we're moving in the right direction, my friends.
Moving in the right direction. Well, we can say there wasn't a lot between the prognosticators in the league. This show, guilty. I think Ari guilty in the commissioner's post. Really low expectations for you. Let's take us back to the draft in Las Vegas that night. How drunk were you?
About 6 on a point of 1 to 10.
At the start of the draft. What about the end?
Well, we drank a whole bottle of whiskey during the draft. Me and my buddy Randy, whole bottle.
So Randy's there. I know he's in the room with you while you're drafting. He's trying to encourage you to hurry up with the draft, and we had a connection we had to set up right here. Tell us a little bit about Randall and what role he played in that evening.
He actually helped me because Gary was completely passed out. He was supposed to be my guy that was going to set up all the computers, like I had a laptop and all the shit with me. So anyway, I used my cell phone. Couldn't see the board at all, couldn't hear anything, had no idea what the fuck was going on, was completely doing it blind, and just to get through each round, we would do a fucking shot and giggle as you guys were all screaming, shot, because I was drafting people that had already been drafted 3 rounds earlier because I couldn't see a board at all.
And here we are in 4th place, 5-4. I think you're in 3rd place in points. It worked.
Well, I'll tell you, there is these Matthew Berry guys and Ari guys. I think they know everything about fantasy football, but It's a little different than that because every year these players come out of nowhere.
True.
And just blow it up. So you just gotta get lucky. And the Mahomes pick obviously wasn't.
I was going to say, obviously, you're referring to the Patrick Mahomes pick.
So picking up Pat Mahomes in the draft was one of the biggest moves of the season.
He's been great.
It's been amazing.
MVP.
He's got a record number of touchdown passes through 9 weeks.
So he's a video game player, but beyond that, we all know that. We've been harping on that all year. What other moves have you made that you're proud of, or who are the guys that you want to give credit to on your team that you think are really putting you where you are right now?
Well, Tom, I went out on a limb and really thought the Bengals had sewed up the offensive line where they were going to have a good season.
Went out on a limb, huh?
I traded you for Joe Mixon, which I really thought they'd be able to run the ball this year. And on that, I also thought their receiving core would be strong. So I drafted John Ross, and he proceeded to have no catches.
Well, we had the one. He had the touchdown pass in week 1, which was fantastic. But you've picked up Tyler Boyd in the ensuing time. He's been fantastic.
Right, so I dropped Ross, picked up Tyler Boyd, and he is a top 10 wide receiver through week 9, which is impressive, even considering he's had a bye week.
Yeah.
So.
It's another guy that's put you in position to sit in 4th place.
The other player is Dion Lewis, which you guys kind of knocked when I drafted him. You thought
We
he
murdered
played
it.
for
Knocked a number of players we used in the draft.
We drafted both times. You drafted Ben Roethlisberger. We knocked the shit out.
Understood and well deserved. But a Dion Lewis pick, he's been very consistent.
He has been. Derrick Henry hasn't. He's droppable. I don't think he has him in our league because Lewis has been consistent. Malarkey's running the football. You got a pretty good squad going. What do you think going forward? Making any moves before the trade deadline?
I've made my move for the trade deadline.
Good. Travis Kelce.
Picking up Travis Kelce.
Very big move.
Big move. Yeah. Big trade. Sacrifice the 1st and the 4th for next year.
Yeah, but what I like about that move, Chris, is that not only is it big for this season where you, again, are sitting right there in playoff contention, in the playoffs, ready to, but not only is it great for your team, but what a move moving forward. Like, great keeper status. Like, that's what you want to collect is guys like Travis Kelce and those keeper statuses.
I agree, especially having Mahomes as your quarterback.
The
to tie in, which we always love.
Absolutely. Yeah, in 4th place. Great place to be moving forward. With the changing of the name thing, we've talked about this on the show, obviously. Currently, you are Suckum Me Balls.
Suckum Me Balls.
Suckum Me Balls.
Official team name has been Fury. There's been F-U-R-E or R-Y for a little while. There's been a lot of changes.
So the question becomes, where did this come from? Because the rumor out there is that this has something to do with a little bit of animosity that you may have toward. Well, we just want to set on this show. We get the truth out, man. We like to set the record straight. This is why you guys tune in, is for stuff like this.
What is the meaning behind Suckum Balls?
Well, the number 8th place team in our league picked me to finish last yet again, another year. And as I saw his name down in the 8th spot, where I was up in the 4th spot looking down at his name, I thought he should suck on me balls.
And that is the Clase Azul Shot of the Week, brought to you by Suckum Me Balls.
Suckum Me Balls.
Suck 'em.
All right. So as a platform, though, you still Bender's Fury that's going forward, like, is it a little childish to be changing your name all the time, or is it something that you're going to continue with? It's working.
Well, sometimes you need a little change. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, another way of asking the question would be, does the Fury become the Fury before the playoffs, or is Suckum Me Balls kind of a thing that's caught on to where you feel like it's created a win streak and you got to keep it through the playoffs?
And I'm not really positive. It's
a week-to-week thing?
It depends,
Depends on what we see in the commissioner's post.
As long as we see the hammers down below us, everything is totally cool. We'll just keep rolling.
All right. Well, hey, Chris, thank you for coming to the program.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. Absolute pleasure.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Bender's Fury, an original gangster.
Peace.
Thanks for watching the Log Jam. Week 9 in the books, and looking forward. Should be a lot of action.
The league meeting, the trade deadline coming up next Monday. A little bit of a teaser for the Logjam podcast. We're going to try to film matchups at Dave & Buster's. For those of you that are willing.
Yeah, we're gonna have you try to sit down, maybe even with your opponent that you went against that week, and kind of get a back and forth of how the league went. Just kind of a funnier episode.
Yeah, and we love to get your matchup. We've tried to get participation from the league in the past. If you're willing to do it, we'd love to have you. We're going to try to put that together when everyone's there. Maybe get a little secret footage of the trade deadline. There's going to be hopefully some good stuff coming up at the meeting.
Yeah, I think it should be an active, meeting, and hopefully everybody's on time. And Corey, you don't watch this, so if I say you suck fucking goats, no one will ever know. Or
they won't. And then I think those of you, Joel's getting us free gameplay. It sounds like maybe bring a little bit of extra gambling money for maybe some Papa Shot, maybe something going on afterwards.
Sure. Bring your kids if you have to, or your girlfriends that look like kids. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week. We out.
Little shine.
Welcome to the election edition of the Logjam, the official podcast.
That's all, folks.
Legal joke. Welcome to the podcast Logjam. All right, you're doing the open.